I voted on last year's.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, if I can remember how to do this. Before we begin, if you have a cell phone, if you would put it on silence, please. And please make note that the meeting is being recorded. Seeing how it's 6 o'clock, I would like to open this meeting of the Woburn Conservation Commission. It is December 18, 2025. We have no public hearings, and first on the agenda, we have Robert Rosine, the Industrialplex Superfund Site, DP number 348-841, 39 Atlantic Ave, 132, 134 Commerce Way, and this is for a request of certificate of compliance. We did a site walk on a Saturday morning. There was Jim, myself, Jerry, Steve, and things are progressing quite well. We were informed by the gentleman that met us on site that EPA is not quite yet ready to sign off, and it was agreed by all of us, and indeed the site person called the manager, and the manager agreed that Woburn Conservation will hold off as well until EPA is ready to release the project. If there's any discussion, any questions from the commission?
Mr. Chairman, is there anybody here to speak about that this evening?
Yep, I was,
Okay.
Good evening. I am Jaron Welch. I believe I spoke with a few of you during your site walk with Thor. I represent Standard Solar for this project.
anybody have any questions for?
I didn't really have any questions. I kind of felt like we sort of addressed that day to you and the gentleman that was out there with us, the fact that we're not comfortable releasing anything or issuing anything from our side until EPA has,
Yeah, understood. And so for this site, because it is actually EPA owned, and I understand you had some questions here and did my due diligence on that, reviewing our lease. So happy to answer those questions from the Saturday walk about the vegetation, and that seems to be from our report that we received this summer after the EPA walk. There were 3 big items of discrepancy that they had. 2 of those items were just some site cleanup, which was handled within weeks of that, and that was completed, so you wouldn't have seen any of that during your site walk. Now, the vegetation issue, yes, that is something that is ongoing. However, that is something that would continue to be ongoing during the life of this lease, or the term of the lease that we have, which is vegetative maintenance that we actually hire out a third party to take care of multiple times throughout the year, multiple cuttings and mowings throughout the site. Unfortunately, we haven't had a second visit by the EPA. Essentially, they've actually been waiting for you guys to be able to get a walk on the site to get your comments on that. And in our conversations with Mr. Joseph Lemay, this is his recommendation.
his recommendation is what
To
exactly?
continue doing the site maintenance as per our post-closure or post-completion and maintenance plan.
Okay. And are you okay with us holding off on issuing, or like I would really like to have a conversation with Mr. Lemay,
I would absolutely appreciate if we could all do that so that we are all on the same page, absolutely. Our hope is that once we are able to close this order of conditions, we can then close our building permit and finish all of our permit closures that we need. It seems like it's a step-by-step process here. So if you guys are needing the EPA sign-off, that is understandable. We would just like to be able to get something scheduled with all teams available.
Okay, I will try to reach out to him and
That
see
would be fantastic. I feel like Mr. Lemay receiving word from the actual Conservation Commission might hold a little more weight than what I do. But since I am here, was there any other items or issues that during your walk you found separate from looking for more vegetative growth, throughout the site?
Yeah, we were just, we were curious about the mowing on the
Yes.
other side of that
So
fence. Is the fence that's set up, is that?
that is
the
essentially our
property
lease line, and that is typically what we do for all of our projects, is we establish a boundary that is essentially our lease area and what we call out in our Alta surveys and in our legal descriptions of what our lease line is. We will mow anything inside of that area, and typically we'll also do about a deck width outside of that. Anything else is actually maintained by the owner of the site, and in this one in particular would be the EPA. So they would continue to maintain anything outside of that, of the array and the fenced area.
Okay.
So that was one of my main question was about the grass cutting. While we were out there, it was suggested that it might be designed as a fire stop. And I have since spoke to the fire chief, and he knows nothing about it. So I was just curious as if, on your end, they said they were going to look into it. Has that been looked at, and do we have any additional information as to who maintains that?
The actual mowing, like the actual site, like outside of the fenced area, that would be the EPA. That is still their property and still their responsibility. So whatever maintenance plan they have on their end is what would be followed.
But I think we were looking at the possibility of how close they were to the no disturb zone there, and at least in one location where we were looking.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not sure if that was an issue or not.
Is that area inside the fenced location?
It's on the outside of the fence, but towards the resource area, and it was more than a deck worth of mowing, like you mentioned, Jared. You guys would maintain a deck's worth of,
Typically, yeah.
for walking or whatever, but this just looked like it had been mowed all the way down to the resource area.
That could be another question I could pose to,
Yeah, I'm just curious, I mean,
Renee, just for the record, I omitted John for that site walk, and John was on the site walk with us, and I apologize.
oh, that's fine.
Okay, understand. Would we need to have the same type of meeting again after the sign-off, or would we be able to do an administrative sign-off?
well, could you provide your contact information?
Absolutely, 100%. Love that.
Then maybe we can get back. I mean, if by chance, the EPA is fine with us issuing, if we feel like we can, I mean, I don't think there's any real reason for you to be here. I mean, we could issue it without you being here.
Okay, I just wanted to double check on that. Okay, all right, I'll definitely leave my contact information, and if it's all right with you, I'd like to send a email to Joseph and let him know what the conversation we had tonight, and then copy you guys in on that.
Sure.
Do you have a business card with you?
Not on me, but happy to write down my information
If you want to
later for
write
you
it
guys.
down and give it to our minute taker?
Absolutely.
Does anyone have a piece of paper?
You ever need a sign, I was gonna mention a sign-in sheet. Thanks.
Any other questions or discussion?
I'm good.
I would recommend that we delay the issuance of the POC until we have further communication with EPA and other important parties that help us make this decision.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Terrific. All right, moving on to business items. We have a tree planting plan for 42 Green Street, DEP number is 348-0880. Any discussion? Any questions? Is there anyone here for this particular?
Mr. Chairman, I haven't really had a chance, I went by there last night, it was getting dark. I haven't had a chance to really survey the property and see if, this is actually where we want these trees to go. There's definitely there's four in a line out front that really don't make a lot of sense to me, the hawthorns, or the hornbeams, I'm sorry. I'd rather see them, again, I don't know what the site really looks like right now. I don't know that we need to approve this plan tonight.
No, I mean, they're not going to be
Yeah,
able to do the planting until
still-
spring anyway, so
Okay.
I,
Still, I rode by it just recently as well, and it's still pretty ripped up. There's a big, almost like a pit or something
Yeah.
of dirt.
Well, they haven't taken the building down yet either.
Right, no.
Right. My only question for the commission, I see that they have suggested 4 different species. Was everybody okay with the 4? I was unfamiliar with the 4th one.
Melanchia?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're nice trees. Yeah, they're not, they don't get to be monstrous. They're more bushy than. Parrot tree.
Because I don't know you want,
First 3 I recognized, but I didn't recognize the 4th one. And everybody's okay with those species?
I did question whether or not maybe, like an eastern pine might be better than the Amelanchier.
that would be a lot bigger?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Are those, I'm trying to see exactly where those were located. Yeah, I mean,
Well, which one was it, American Pine?
No, the pines aren't proposed. The Amelanchier, I don't know if those are it's hard to tell with this.
It is.
I think there are like 4 of them, if you look, like 2, like right around where the building is.
it's hard to read this plan.
It's really hard.
Don't see the,
Yeah,
Strong
same.
enough.
Look, they're kind of like located here, like
the
the
horn-
back side of the building.
yeah.
And then it
Oh,
kinda-
okay, yeah, you're right.
And so
Yep.
1 to 30.
Yeah, again, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, where they're located. So I'd like to take a better look at the site and maybe
Okay.
come up with some better locations and maybe a different species as well.
Yeah,
that's okay, I
Yeah,
don't know.
they can't be looking to be doing it real soon, that's for sure, so. I'm good with that.
Okay,
so, so would the commission like me to ask someone to be present for like, the next meeting to discuss it?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Do we need a motion or anything, Teresa, to do that? No? Okay. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
All right. Moving on. We have a minor modification to a wall at 10 Barber Circle. DP number is 348-0891.
Teresa, do we have any idea what the size of the height of the wall is going to be?
It looks like 4 foot high.
I don't know. I'm looking to see if, I don't think he's got that.
Yeah, it does say minimum maximum, I can't, it's hard to read.
Can't read that either. Jesus, I gotta get new glasses.
That was the original
That's
wall.
the original, yeah.
So he was talking, I don't think he was planning on making it very high. I think it was more like using the boulders. And he may have said, but I don't think it was supposed to be more than a couple of feet. I don't think it was supposed to be that high.
High.
Oh.
I don't know what the word
It
says.
looks like it says maximum,
Maximum 4-foot height?
but that's the oh, no, that's proposed.
No, that's proposed.
Yep.
So, any discussion, any questions, any comments?
Chairman, I have just a question. So, the rock wall goes in, is there any change to the proposed retaining wall that goes around the proposed pool? Does that stay in place, or is that being removed in lieu of the rock wall?
That's a good
It
question.
looks like where the rock wall, the line goes through, looks like it's going right through
The
the
corner.
corners of the retaining wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that those corners that come in would not be happening with the new wall, but I don't really know that for sure. If the commission feels you need to do a site visit, we can try to set that up with the owner. I'm not sure. I can't answer that.
That would be an awkward setup for both walls to be.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
they'd
it can't
both be
be
there,
that.
but I can't say for sure because he didn't mark up that what was proposed would be removed. So I don't want to speak on his behalf. I'm not sure.
I mean, has this already been constructed? Or
No,
is
it's
this still?
proposed.
Is this just proposed? They haven't done any work out there? Is that right?
I think they're working on the site. Yeah, I'm not sure whether the pool has gone in yet, or,
Okay.
but, yeah. Again, if they were, I don't think they're going to be leaving that proposed wall, just because of, like you said, where the new wall, the new proposal goes, like right through some of those.
Right.
So it probably isn't, the original is probably not going to stay.
Okay.
And I guess, even if it did stay, I don't know how much difference it would, I can't see why you would put a wall behind
Yeah, that doesn't
that
make, yeah.
other one, right?
I couldn't figure out why you'd want to do that, and I was thinking of it more from a drawing perspective. Is the drawing that we have in front of us tonight with the proposed rock wall, is that the final drawing? Is that the minor modification? That the retaining wall is going to stay in place, and they're going to put this little rock wall behind it? That's my question, and I'd like to know if that's the case, or do they need to provide us with an updated drawing with the retaining wall removed, if that's the intent?
Right. Right, you don't want.
I think the intent was not to have both walls. It
Okay.
was to replace the wall that was originally permitted with the one that's shown on the plan as a proposed rock wall.
Yep.
I don't think he wanted to keep both. If the commission feels it's a minor change, then I don't know that you need to have him have new plans done. If the commission thinks it's not a minor change, then it's a different discussion.
It would just show up on the as-built at the end, then. It would
Well, I
get-
think that if the commission approves this change, then I would mark this plan for the file, so that then when a request for a certificate of compliance comes in, I have a record that
Okay.
the commission approved this as a minor change, but if the commission doesn't feel it's a minor change, then that's when you might get into a different plan.
Do we feel maybe it warrants a site walk? Take a look and maybe have it explained?
Yeah, I kind of feel, I'm not opposed to making it a minor change, but I think we need some more clarification as to what exactly, I agree with Commissioner Lonis. I think that's gonna be that squared off is gonna be eliminated, and they just wanna wing it out to the property lines. That's what it looks like, but I don't wanna assume anything, so
But
maybe.
do we need a little more dimensions as far as how far back it's going? At least,
I wonder if can we approve it as a minor change pending confirmation that
field?
confirmation in the field that the
Only one
previously
wall.
proposed wall will not be installed.
Is that a motion?
Would be
Second.
So we have a motion, we have a second to approve minor change dependent on,
confirmation that the previously proposed wall will not be existing.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Next, we have a modification to plan at 15 Richmond Ave, DP number 348-0857. I see we have somebody here to speak on this.
Good evening. Mark Slager from Allen Engineering.
Good evening.
This one should be fairly simple. The builders want to build a smaller house further away from the wetland, and we're hoping the commission will permit that.
Is that it?
Aw,
Any questions or comments for our petition?
Mark, the infiltration's going to stay the same?
Yes.
I was looking at the plan, it looks like some of the previously proposed footprint was actually going over the top of if you're looking out to Richmond on the left rear corner, part of the house was going on top of that infiltration system. Is that,
The infiltration system was actually closer to the wetland. I've moved that further away from the wetland as well.
okay. And, oh, okay, I see. The driveway location is the same as it was previously?
Yes. The house is actually further away from the street as well. The original proposal needed special consideration from the zoning ordinance because it didn't meet the 25-foot setback, but it was set back the same as the adjacent house. So there would have been a special consideration from the building commissioner
Okay.
as to whether or not that was allowed.
Yep. Did you get approval for that, or,
No, I don't think we ever sought approval for that.
yeah, so now it's,
Now we don't have that as an issue either.
yeah, okay. And then the pavers for the patio, are they going to be set in stone dust?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be kind of a pervious,
Mm-hmm.
okay. That's all I have.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, on the prior house footprint, there was a stairway coming off, as I'm looking at the drawing, to the left side with Richmond up above. And those are not there anymore. It looks like they moved to the back, is that?
That's correct. The stairs that are shown in red, that was part of the prior approval.
Right, so those
Now there's a
won't,
deck on the back over the patio, and there's like
Yeah.
a dual stairway going
Okay.
down to a landing and then coming back towards the house.
and that paver patio, is that pervious?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is the overall impervious area the same or reduced?
It's actually less than what was proposed
It-
before.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion?
It just, as far as that goes, Mark, the impervious, is it just the less roof and then the addition of are you counting the paver patio as, that's not,
That's pervious.
that's pervious?
Yeah.
Just the 460
infiltration system will collect all of the roof runoff.
Okay, okay.
Mark, are there there's no change to the infiltration system?
No. It's the same size as what was approved for the prior house.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve this as a minor change based on the plans submitted and dated May 20th, 2023. Make sure that's the right date, I'm sorry. May 18th, 2023, with revision date of December 3rd, 2025, signed by Mark Slager, dated 12/3/2025.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Great. Thank you very much.
You.
Thank you.
Have a happy holiday,
Yeah,
everyone.
you too, enjoy.
Happy holiday to you.
No.
All right, moving on. We have site visit. We have a request to do 3032 Cedar Street.
So it looks like, I guess this weekend doesn't work for someone that might want to come out there and show us around the area. So I don't know if the week, during the week works for us. It does for me. I don't know if weekends are better. The next 2 weekends don't seem to work for Mike Avaney, who's going to go out and show us what the project entails, I guess.
I know we're approaching the holiday, but next week, I'm around for mornings. I know it'd be difficult for people to do in the afternoon because it gets dark, but, or even the week after Christmas. Same thing, mornings are probably better, seeing how we have the problem with it getting dark out. So I'm good, whatever the commission can agree to, I probably can fit in.
I'm good most any day. In the morning is fine. Afternoons is fine. You can just pick a date and I certainly will support it.
Monday is best if we can do a morning,
This Monday,
or the following.
any Monday.
Yeah, any Monday, that's great.
I could possibly do the
January 5th as well.
29th, Monday morning, but
Monday,
not the 22nd.
the 29th?
Yeah, I'm off on the 29th, so I should be
Yeah,
able to.
29th.
The 29th?
Yeah,
Doesn't work
Yeah.
for,
January 5th works for,
That,
if that works for the commission, January 5th?
yes, I'm good.
I
5th?
I wouldn't be able to do that in the morning.
I can't go during the day, I'm working, so that's all right. Because I can't go on the weekends for the next either.
Yeah,
I'm really swamped right now, so.
okay.
I think we have 4. Kevin?
Take a shot at it, but,
The 5th?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so January 5th. Time? 9 AM, 9:30?
30?
9:30 is fine.
And that's,
9:30, okay.
9:30?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. And while we're on the subject, are there any others, Teresa, that we should be aware of, or?
Unless you guys wanted to go out to Barber Circle. Or if you,
No, I think we're good.
okay. Nope.
All we need to get is that information, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Mass General Brigham at Vale, they have submitted a request to withdraw or the Leggett McCall has submitted a request to withdraw that notice of intent because that project is not going to go forward.
Right, I thought so.
And then they're also asking for a closeout of the order with a certificate of compliance. So that will be on our next meeting. I don't know that the commission needs to go out there. I think you guys are pretty well familiar with that site. If you wanted to go out there, you could schedule it now, but if you guys are pretty satisfied with the site at this point, for purposes of withdrawal and a certificate of compliance to close out an invalid order, then I don't have any other ones to suggest.
And that shouldn't affect that slope issue that we've been looking at, right? I didn't think so.
No,
Making sure.
this was the Mass General
Right.
Brigham one. Now, at some point in the future, I would expect that there'll be a new filing out there.
Yep.
So that might be a time to address it if they haven't addressed it to the satisfaction of the commission before then.
Thank you.
Anybody feel like they need to take a look at the area again? What we could do is we could leave it up to each individual, and on the 5th, after we do Cedar Street, those that want to go out to take a quick look at the Vale, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
That sound all right?
yes.
Okay. All right. Moving on, we have the minutes of November 6, 2025, as drafted.
Same here.
Any discussion, any comments?
I just had, actually had a couple. On page 2, the second paragraph, just to, I don't know, clean up the sentence, I guess, a little bit.
Wow.
It's half,
Paragraph's long.
I guess about halfway down the paragraph on the right, it starts with Vice Chair. Tancredi asked for clarification on when the gardens are closed and gate access. So I think it should be when the gardens and gate are closed for the season. Just seems to be a little cleaner.
I don't remember what I,
I don't think you said that.
no, but I think the access, I was kind of concerned at how long that the gardeners had access for access. I mean, but it should coincide with the closing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, then thank you, you're right there.
Then the other one was on page 3. Under request for permission to allow tree removal at 9 Third Road, second sentence, however, the homeowner should check with Public Works to see if it is a public shade tree.
Catch.
Wow. Very good.
Chairman, I would move to accept the meeting minutes of November 6, 2025 as drafted and amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any,
Commissioner Meany?
Kevin.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Encroachment updates. Steve, you want to talk about what we did at the gardens?
So we'll start off with the gardens first on the encroachment updates. I think we'll go what's closed and what's open. What's closed? Closed. One sign has been posted, 4 granite posts have been posted and installed. That is closed. What is open? It's come to our attention that it's not only possible, but could be likely, that trucks can impede past the granite post to the property line, go on the other side to go around the back of the garage, so that encroachment on city land is not only possible, it's potentially likely. Therefore, there's a proposal to put chains in between the posts that come across, and then in the final post, have one more means of blocking, either by a chain or a boulder or the like. In order to effect that proposal, the contractor who did a good job, his crew showed up. They had to get those granite posts, one of them, from the road all the way up to the 2 football fields. They carried it with the wheelbarrow. And they got the job done within a half a day and did a very, very good job. They are going to quote the chains and the boulder. They have to put more thought into it. I've had communication with the contract up to and including today, that he's still putting together his head what's the right way to do it and the like. We will be receiving a quote, so we would say that we are 50% done. The initial posts have been put in as we proposed to do and is closed, and to go the final mile, the 50% left will put the chains in, therefore be an impedance to the ability of any equipment to encroach on city land in the future. So that's where we stand. We're waiting for a quote, in short.
Great.
Thank you.
Yep, everybody that was involved, I thank, and I think a job well done, and I think with the final product, I think we will have accomplished what we need.
So before I move to the next one, I just want to make sure I thank everybody. This was a son of a gun. It has gone on for several years. It took a lot of thinking, blood, sweat, and tears, but we are halfway done, and we will bring it halfway home to closure. So thank you for everything that you guys did to help. To the second part, we'll go what's open and what's closed. What was open is we had a letter to a homeowner dated October 28th, indicating that we wanted a planting plan, and that the planting, with the intent of the plantings being completed prior to April 30th, 2026. And then after that, there will be a site visit by the commission to be made upon notification of the plantings. And there's a comment also that any and all trespass action is suspended pending the above. So where are we? In your packages, you received what we had requested, a landscaping plan proposing 15 plants, 6 of which are winterberry, 9 of which are red osier dogwood. Before I proceed any further, I think it's only logical to just stop there for just a minute. We're not done, but let's just stop for just a second. My question to the commission is everyone okay with 15 plants? Does 15 plants make sense? It makes sense to me. I'm just looking for 15, yeah, 15 makes sense?
The winter,
Because they're gonna,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a delineation line, pretty much.
to the
So I'm okay.
to the winterberries, is that a hefty plant? It'll
Yeah, it'll
take
grow out.
space,
Yeah,
okay,
They
okay.
don't get crazy big, but yeah, nice and bushy.
So we're okay with the quantity of 15. Now we'll go to what Commissioner Tancredi alludes to, which is the subject of type. We have 6 winterberry, so let's stop there for a second. Is everyone okay with winterberry?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this-
All right, I think that's good. What about red osier dogwood?
Yes.
Okay. So in a logical sense, we have a proposal for plantings we asked for. We're okay with 15, we're okay with winterberry, and we're okay with red osier dogwood. Let's go to the last item. Item 4 on the letter dated October 28 said, any and all trespass action is suspended pending the above. Yet the drawing we have, if I'm reading it correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, has the plantings on our land and not the property owner's land. Is that correct?
I would agree with that.
You would agree with that assessment?
Absolutely. I didn't even see that. I didn't
Yeah.
pick up on that.
So we have a violation of item number 4 of the letter from our city solicitor dated October 28th. So therefore, it is my assessment and my recommendation of the following. That we get a response back from the city solicitor that says, we're okay with the 15, we're okay with the Winterberry, we're okay with the Red Osier Dogwood. The location has to be on the property owner's property to be in accordance with item number 4, the 1028 letter.
I
That
think-
should be the
I think
response.
That makes total sense, and
Yep.
we can also suggest if he wants to go 2 or 3 feet onto his own property and not be right on the line, that would be okay as well, but to plant them onto city property.
I think it has to be inside the line.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
if you
it
put
has to
right
be
on the
inside.
line,
Yeah.
it's gonna-
It has to be inside.
Right,
Inside the line.
definitely.
And if you go to city ordinance and you Google it and everything like that, the recommendation usually starts with 6 inches,
Yes. 'cause
commonly a
if you wanted
foot.
to
So
put a
I've Googled
fence
it
up,
and read
You
it.
can't go right on the line, I don't think.
Yeah, they don't want you to
Right.
go on the line. It's
Right.
recommended you don't go on the line. So yes, it would be recommended that it goes in accordance with the city ordinance.
Yep,
Then,
yeah, that's
do,
good.
do we need this sketch to be marked up, the plan,
Well, yeah,
the
they'll have to
plan?
give us a new one, right?
Okay,
Yeah, you have to give us a new one that shows the
No,
planting
he'll
on
have
his
to
side.
give us another one, because the 2 that he submitted are illegal. The 2 that he's shown are on our property.
So, right, we would need a new plan showing the location of the 15 to be on his property, inside of the property line, in accordance with recommendations of 6 inches or better. If it's okay with everybody, and it's okay with the chairman, as we've done in the past, to keep with protocol proper and everything like that, I'd be happy to write this, have you approve it, and then we send it on your behalf to Mike Salvati. Should we do that?
Absolutely.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Opposed? Guys carry.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just,
Nice job, Steve.
excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
there's someone in the audience, I'm wondering if they're here for what we just discussed, or,
So I'm actually here regarding, well, I had a question about wetlands,
Oh.
and then actually it works out perfectly because I saw that's on the agenda. I'm not sure if what I have is relevant to what's on the committee's agenda necessarily, but is it okay to speak now, or?
I don't know, do you want to continue on? So that would be item G, Mr. Chairman.
Yep, I think we should move on to item.
I don't know what she's,
Yeah, those look good, yeah, those are
the
great.
question, would you like to allow her to speak and address the commission? I'm not sure what she's here about.
Right, I didn't know if I should ask first or if I should listen to what's the agenda and
If there's
then.
something specific that you want to ask the commission, Mr. Chairman, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
good,
sure.
good.
You're Teresa?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Melina. I think we spoke on the phone a couple days ago, so I had a question, but whoever I spoke to, I believe it was Teresa, didn't know the answer, so I figured it would be good to attend a meeting. I live on Lake Ave, and I was curious if Horn Pond and the Horn Pond Brook are, or have protected wetland status.
So the answer that I gave you when I spoke to you is the commission does have jurisdiction over wetlands and land within 150 feet of it, also within 200 feet of the bank of a river.
Okay.
So, but the water itself in the pond
Okay.
is not jurisdictional. So the pond isn't, but the land under the water body is and the bank is. And then if there's bordering vegetated wetland, that is.
Okay,
just-
so
So
you're
that's
saying-
what jurisdiction is for the commission.
Okay, so sorry, just to clarify, did you say
Okay,
does
but I-
or doesn't have jurisdiction over the land that's within a certain amount of feet?
Yes.
Does have.
Yeah, there, yes. So for work or activity well, I should say work. It reads activity, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't walk on it. So for work proposed on lands within 150 feet of a wetland in Woburn, it is subject to the approval of the commission.
Okay, so I guess a follow-up question to that is, so I live at 48 Lake Ave, and that's the apartment complex, there's 8 buildings. The dumpsters that are out back, I was curious whether or not, because they're extremely close to the brook, and upon just sort of reading into some information. I believe that there's supposed to be a 100-foot buffer zone where dumpsters are not allowed to be placed, and so I was a little bit confused about that. I know there's been a lot of issues since the beginning of 2025 with the trash overflow, getting like all over the area, and it has improved a little bit, but a lot of tenants are very concerned about the trash and how close it gets to the brook.
Interesting.
If I may, so.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong in that aspect, but I
Okay.
think those apartments have been there for a while, so I'm not sure if the regulations that currently exist today existed back then.
Okay.
So it's probably gonna have to take some research, I would assume, to see what was approved. Where those dumps, I know what you're saying, and you know, if we can have any jurisdiction over, I live down there as well on Arlington Road, so.
Okay.
It's probably something that needs to be looked at, but I don't think we can actually say that here, because
Okay.
it may have been, I don't know how long they've been there, 40 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Long time, yeah.
And it may have been approved back then. Now, there may be something in there where the landlord is obligated to have those cleaned. But it's
Yeah. Oh, we've raised a lot of concerns beginning back in the spring, and they've all gone sort of unresolved. At this point, our landlord has hired somebody, though, that did start the cleanup, so it's a lot less severe than it was. But it's still sort of happening, and it's also the fact that there are things out of our control as well. Like if it's windy, it doesn't necessarily matter how clean it's kept because the trash still tends to fly, and it's sort of like it goes over the fence towards the water, and yeah.
I have a question. Without true, 100% true knowledge, but it's my understanding that there is a new management,
I was just gonna say, do you have a property manager?
and I understand from that new management that one of their number one priorities is to get that area cleaned up.
Yeah, so that is true, but I will say the management is extremely overwhelmed. They're being pulled constantly to other properties owned by the landlord, to the point where there's usually nobody, well, I won't say usually, but there often is not someone on site for the full day. They are called out to other properties very consistently.
I would say the information that I got is probably maybe 2 to 3 weeks old, and
Okay.
effort was going to be made to get that area cleaned up.
Okay.
So if you keep your eye on it and you want to get back to us and let us know that progress has been made or hasn't been made, I think it's something that we can certainly look into.
Okay, and then I know that someone, I'm sorry, I forgot who, someone said that that wouldn't be something handled here necessarily, like the permitting of where the dumpsters are allowed to be and things like that. But are you guys able to advise on who or what department or something sort of could look into the permitting of the dumpsters being placed where they are?
I think you would need to check with the Board of Health on that, because they usually regulate
Okay.
trash issues with that. What I would ask is, I think, also, first of all, I don't think that there is a prohibition from the Conservation Commission about the location of the dumpsters on that site. Like typically, if somebody were building something today and they'd come in with a plan, the commission would look at where the dumpsters are proposed and they would want them enclosed and things like that. But this site predates a lot of the regulations that the
Okay.
commission follows. But I think that there at least was a fence out there. Is there, do you know if there's still like a chain
Yeah,
link
the
or something?
fence is still there. It's very, very bent back in a lot of areas.
Okay.
I believe it's even, someone may have hit it with their car at some point. It still stands, but it's very like damaged.
Right, so I mean, from
Yeah.
the Conservation Commission standpoint of protecting the resource area, I mean, it might be beneficial to have that fence maintained or repaired. And they could even, put up maybe some kind of a siltation fence or something in front of it, which would prevent like some of the wind-blown materials from getting into the brook. But in terms of, the trash on site, that's really more of a Board of Health issue.
Okay.
If there's stuff that actually does get dumped or blown into the wetland, then that is something that the commission could address.
Okay. So I will do my best to follow up with the Board of Health. Unfortunately, I have heard a lot of, I have fellow tenants who have called before, and I have actually called before regarding a totally separate issue within my apartment, and no one has come out. So, but I will follow up with them.
Great, good luck.
All right.
Yeah, much,
Thank you.
much appreciate
for
you
your-
coming and checking in, though. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I have a question before you go. So I know Horn Pond Apartments very well. I know the dumpsters. I know the brook. And I know about all of it because of all the rodent control that's over there. So I know it's being used there too. I actually made a complaint. I did a report of concern
Okay.
probably 18 months ago about the dumpsters overflowing and all this.
Yeah.
And it's private, and I get it. So that's the response that I got back. Board of Health, it's private property. Inspectional Services was the same thing. I would try again to both those places.
Okay.
Board of Health,
Can I?
I would try Inspectional Services.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would like to talk,
I'm sorry, just gonna
Yeah.
sign that.
Of course. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what I would like to do is, and not part of the Conservation Commission, I have been meaning to go over there to talk to the property management company, and if it's a new one, because I want to talk to them about this very issue. And I want to talk about it in terms of rodent control. There's another reason for it too, and it's got to do with a hawk that was recently found injured, sick, and died of rat poison on the other side of Horn Pond. So, after this, if you will, I'm going to give you my card,
Okay.
all right?
Awesome.
So you have my
Okay.
number.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back in touch with you on that.
Okay, and if I may just say one more thing, I was sort of wondering if this is even appropriate to bring up here, but I'm just going to go right ahead and say it since you guys are recommending that I speak to the Board of Health. I've had my fellow tenants, actually someone who had a family emergency who wanted to come tonight and couldn't come, has been telling me for a long time that she has suspicions that our landlord and his wife have a friend at the Board of Health. And over the weekend, a former employee of my landlord actually was able to get my phone number from someone else and gave me a call, and he did give me a name, which I kind of don't really feel comfortable saying here, but he did give me a name of someone at the Board of Health who I've had correspondence with over the past couple of months. And he told me that that is a friend of my landlord and his wife. So we're a little bit nervous. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice right now. Okay.
Thank you for coming forward.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll get some resolved.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, God forbid it's incorrect. I don't
Right.
want to just throw out somebody's
Yeah,
name, but,
absolutely.
And that's fine. That's
but yeah, I was given a name and it's someone that I have talked to a couple of times already about my own separate, not the trash, about sewage backing up into my apartment 4 times in the last couple of months. And they have not come out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck. Thanks for coming out.
Before you go.
All right, next on the agenda is discussion regarding updating the Woburn Wetland Ordinance. One of the issues that Teresa and I have talked about for a long time, and recently Jerry and Jim
Take care.
and I have talked about, is typically, ever since I've been on the commission, typically RDAs have always been under public hearings. And they do not need to be under public hearings. We can do it under a business item. And the pros and cons, I guess, can be discussed, but in my mind, the pros kind of outweigh the cons, and that would be that it would certainly shorten our public hearings, because if a RDA is under a business item, I don't have to, although I have the option that I can open it to the public. So if it's pretty straightforward, That I don't have to ask for the petitioner to step forward. I don't have to ask, is there anybody in the audience that want, and go on through that whole process. So it speeds up the process of the public hearings, and then it allows judgment calls, and I would obviously rely on your opinions as well, under a business item as to whether we want to hear from a petitioner or not. I think, Teresa, I've read the red line and I've read the changed, clean version. I think Teresa did a great job, and that's where I'll leave it and open it up for discussion.
So if I could just also jump in, the chairman is correct that the commission has been dealing with RDAs as public hearings and all the requirements that come thereunder. That is not a state requirement, so that is not in the Wetlands Protection Act. It is not in the Wetlands Protection Act regulations. It is in the Woburn Wetlands Ordinance. So this would be a change to that, to still have public hearings for the, essentially, those things that are filed under a notice of intent, but for what's filed under an RDA, it would be part of a public meeting, so the public can attend it, but it would not be a public hearing if the commission agrees, and this is also something that city council would have to do. So the first step, I felt, was to draft up something for the commission to look at and review. Also, by not making it, if it's the will of the commission and city council, by not making it a public hearing, it will save applicants on the cost of the legal notices, a butter notification. So it makes it an easier process for the applicants. And it's an easier process for the commission too, because the commission, under the state regulation, is supposed to actually issue a determination within 21 days of the date it's filed, which is a little tricky if you have to advertise the hearing
Right.
5 business days in advance and all the other things. So sometimes, we have the hearing, or within the 21 days, but then unless you actually issue it that night, which is usually the case, it can be longer than 21, and then you get into needing consent of the applicant and stuff like that. So that's the changes to the draft of the ordinance, address that and changing that so that it's would no longer be a public hearing requirement. Also cleans up some language and typos that I found when I was looking through the ordinance as written. There are some other changes to it based on some of the information that's kind of out in with some changes that I'm expecting the state to make. The state has, it's been almost 2 years, and maybe it has been 2 years now, that they had draft regulations for the Wetlands Protection Act, and they're supposed to be promulgated early 2026. I don't know what that means to the state, but they do address some issues in terms of climate resilience if they're promulgated as they were drafted. I don't know what the final, what that will look like. So my thought was to keep the ordinance open enough and flexible enough that the commission can update the regulations so that we're not in conflict. But that's essentially what went into this. So this is a draft of the ordinance. I welcome feedback from the commission on it, and then ultimately it would need to go to city council. So we would need sponsorship on city council, and it would be up to the city council to make the change. And then if that does happen, the commission should also update the regulations afterward.
Thank you for the time you spent in going
Yeah.
over this, making the changes, because they were necessary. And that was one of my questions was, could any of the changes in the anticipated promulgated regulations, make our ordinance any weaker?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't, in of themselves, I don't think they would make the ordinance weaker. The only thing is if the state were to exempt activities that aren't currently exempted, and if the ordinance states that exempted activities in the act, or in the state regs are exempted in this, then we would carry that through. I think that there is some wording in here that exempts specific things and said other exemptions aren't in there, and I think the regulations could address that.
Our regulations.
Well, if the ordinance, is broad enough, then the regulations could get into specifics if need be. But I would encourage everyone, if commission members haven't had the time to already do so, to really read it and look at it and decide if they're happy with these changes, if they're not. And then, I mean, if the commission's ready to discuss it tonight, that's fine, but if the commission wants more time, I'm fine with that. I think it's really important, but I also think it's important to get it right.
I agree. As a matter of fact, that was one of my comments. I don't think we should act on it tonight. I think it should be scrutinized even probably more closely and read again. And if anybody has comments and suggestions to make those notations, I think we want to, as Jerry alluded to, we don't want to weaken any of our grip on things. I think it's important that we give this our utmost consideration, and once we do get it approved, we'll take it to city council and see if we can get that to go through. So, again, as I stated at the beginning, Teresa, I think you did a great job. And as I read through it the first time, I really didn't see anything, but hearing some of the things that I've just heard, I would like to read it again and see if anything pops to mind. So any other further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I just echo Commissioner Lawrence's thoughts. A great job anyway, just by getting it drafted, redrafted. I think it goes a long way, especially with the RDAs. And that, I mean, you had me at saving time and saving cost. I think that goes a long way, because we've had that a lot of times where we continue these and continue, and they don't have to be. So if we're able to streamline some things, I'm all for it. But I do agree that we do not want to weaken some of what we have authority over. So I think it does warrant a good look at it.
Yeah, and I think also if the commission, I mean, if somebody files an RDA and the commission thinks, well, we really need to look at this more closely, you can issue a positive and say you have to file a notice of intent. So you still have the authority to do so, but it gives you more flexibility, and I think it
great.
is better for the applicants. I think it's better all around.
I think so, too.
Yeah, and on that same point, I don't know that I can't even remember someone that's filed an RDA and we've issued a positive determination. There may have been one or two, maybe.
There've been some, but they're not common. I
Right.
mean, it's more often that an RDA is negative.
Yes, absolutely.
With this commission. And I think some of that is because, people are sort of advised early on
Right.
that if you're going to be in a wetland or really close to it, then, if it's a big project, you should probably file a notice of intent. So I think, people file properly for the most part. So I think it's a good change, but I do really welcome the commission. I value everybody's opinion on the commission. So take a look at it, and if there's anything in particular that you want me to look at more closely or do more research on, I'm happy to do that. So let me know.
Great.
Timing-wise, Teresa, it doesn't affect, we gonna need city council approval at some point.
Yes.
Doesn't matter when that happens as far as, I guess, doesn't really affect the state stuff, so.
It doesn't affect the state
okay,
stuff at
so-
all. Since we didn't have a couple of meetings recently, I had a little bit more time than I usually do, so I thought, well, this would be a good project to work on and take advantage of that. So that's really kind of
Cool.
why I got into it at this time. So I think, it's not urgent. We've been going on a long time with the ordinance the way it is, but I do think it would be a good thing to
It'd be
change.
nice to make the change, I think.
Yeah, and I think again, I would like the entire commission to feel comfortable about it. I don't think it should be, you should feel like, oh, we're under pressure, we have to get this done in
Right.
one meeting. It doesn't need to be like that, but I do think the commission should all be on the same page with it, so that when we do bring it to city council, we, could say, like, the commission fully supports this ordinance change.
How demanding is it to get onto the agenda for the council?
I don't know. But I think that the first step would be probably to, ask one of the council members to sponsor it. And then, then I don't know their procedure, whether it needs a first read and a second read. I'm not sure, but we'll find out.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So I just want to make a couple of comments. So first off, I read the whole update, or the proposed update. I think it's excellent. It's a great job, it's well needed. I absolutely agree on with the RDA process. We should be going for that, and we should be in line with what the state actually does, and not try to put more burden on our applicants for this. I absolutely agree. There were three things in this first section, and I'll just put them out there. You can think about it. We don't have to discuss them tonight. I've already talked to Teresa about them. But under the purpose, we have a list of different items. There are three things that come to my mind that I'd like to see us incorporate. For protection of fisheries, I'd like to see protection of fisheries and wildlife. And it goes along with the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife. The second one is to include vernal pools, or potential vernal pools. The reason why I say that is, I don't know, I know that some of you know this, but over the course of the last year, we have now certified 3 vernal pools in Woburn, 2 at Horn Pond, and 1 up on the Battle Road Woodland area. All 3 now are in the Earthwise Aware annual report. It's being published at the end of the year. All of the documentation has gone to the state, and the state is going to approve those 3 vernal pools. There are at least 3 or 4 more vernal pools, potential vernal pools that are out at Horn Pond. There could be others. So I'd like to incorporate, if we could, think about it, incorporate something about vernal pools in that purpose. And the third one goes along directly with biodiversity, and maybe it's kind of boiled into that, but it's what they call the species of greatest conservation need. And it's an expansion of the NHESP Mesa-listed species, which contains somewhere around 450 species. But the species of greatest conservation need incorporates not only the Mesa-listed species, the NHESP species, but it also lists species that are threatened, if you will, from a conservation perspective. And it bumps that number up to somewhere around 650 species. Now, many of these we have out at Horn Pond, not only the Mesa-listed species, but the ones that are in the species of greatest conservation need, including some wildlife that's out there, and bobcats and gray fox. They are now part of that special, that greatest needs listing. So that's why I thought we could include that in there too, or at least think about including it in there. So that's what I had. So let's think about it and figure out what's the right thing to do. What are the things that we can and cannot do? What kind of a burden or does it put onto us if we incorporate them? How does it fit in with anything else that's going on? Are we overstepping? Any of that. Let's just think about it. Okay?
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. I also would say, give some thought to generally adding wildlife, because wildlife might include the species that you just mentioned, but then it could also include, chipmunks and
Yep.
squirrels. And so I think
I know.
you may need to define it in some clear way, because I can imagine we've had people at meetings who've come in and
Yep.
talked about some things like that. So I think that you probably want to give some thought to, is there a place that it's defined? Is there a way that it could be defined by the commission to not include some things that are not what you're looking to include?
think
So
you could-
I'd just say give that some thought.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for your feedback, appreciate it.
Any other discussion? We have some homework. Anybody have anything else to bring before the commission?
Just a quick question on the work being done along Arlington Road. It looks like it's at, well, all the erosion controls are still up. Is that, do we know if that's been completed?
Which work?
That, we had them,
The catch
Jay was
basin.
here, went to the, yeah, the catch basins. There's one, like, towards Lake Ave, and then there's some down by the old Clap School, and just curious if, I haven't seen any activity real recently, but there was some stuff being done like a month ago.
I would say the last activity I saw was about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And since then, I haven't seen any.
So does
I
it?
don't know if the project's done or not.
I was just curious. People have asked, and I said, I'm not quite sure if they're done.
Yeah,
And,
I just, from my observation, I'm assuming that they're done for now, for the season.
Yeah, that could be it,
Because I
too.
think the rest of it's gonna entail the cleanup around where the benches are. I think
Yep.
one's gonna get removed, and then they're gonna grind and then repave that part of Arlington Road, which they can't do now, because
Yeah, okay. All right, so
I think that's, so it's
Some-
probably more spring.
more than likely, the erosion controls will stay, and, okay, which makes sense. All right, thanks.
Anybody else?
Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
The ayes carry.
Good.
I would like to take a second
I
and
know, I
thank
steal.
Commissioner Joyce for our beautiful calendars.
Thank you very much.
I love, me,
I like it.
favorite.
I like it. See this?